It's an honor to be selected to the top 1% of anything, especially of our great Air Force.
Everything. I mean, you work 25 years wearing, the amazing uniform. It just means everything.
It really means that you're given the power to serve, and it's almost limitless.
Being chief to me means it is really, truly, finally all about the airmen. Really, that's what it is. Can't get any higher, and that's what that I think is the most amazing piece, because it really is all about everybody else.
My family has played a very important role, specifically my parents. So my mom and dad played a huge influence in my work ethic, especially my mom. She's one of the hardest working women you'll ever meet. And now that I'm a parent myself, my kids are a big influence for me to strive to do the best that I can.
My family has played a huge role in my career. If it weren't for them, I never would have made it this far. With any rank, actually.
My parents were obviously supportive, and then later on in my career, I met my wife, Marilyn, and she's been the bedrock, my foundation, of course. Your spouse usually is, and also being dual military, she was that person that always pushed me to strive to do better, and there I am with her.
My wife is the rock of our family. I've deployed 9 times, and she's had to be back here, take care of 2 boys. My inspiration, definitely my father. Raised 4 kids by himself. He introduced the core values to us before they were even a thing. So very motivating and very inspirational influence in my life.
I was deployed to Iraq, and I was there right before shock and awe when Iraqi freedom started, and at me being a weapons troop, I showed up to the flight line, and then I ended up working on F-15s, A-10s, F-16s, you name it, they were all coming through. And I'll never forget this, the general there, the base commander, he basically told me this was time for me to step up and help my country out. And I'll just never forget that. It was an experience unlike any other. And that's when I realized that, what I do, my job, I mean, it really is the tip of the spear.
In 2005, it was my first deployment to Balad, Iraq. And we got mortared every day. So, and on the bottom of my hat, I would put X's every time we got mortared. And if it was close, I'd put a circle. And one of the most memorable ones that really, set in these is like, I just got done getting a haircut. I came down the steps, went around the big cement walls, and a mortar hits and like rocks fly, and it shook the ground, and it was like, wow, this is for real.
I'm an engineer, so we got to deploy quite a bit. So we were wherever the fight was at. Once the Army found out how valuable we were, or still are, they utilized us quite a bit. So we were deploying on and off 6 months. And I think it was in 2010, we built 5 bear bases in northern Afghanistan, expanded a couple of them. There's a book called Horse Soldiers. We got to build what is now Camp Mike Spann, or what was Camp Mike Spann, named after the CIA agent that was killed and is in that book.
Being the first personnelist to enter Saddam International Airport. Being a personnelist, you think, oh, it's just a desk job and I'm not gonna do anything that's cool or unique. This was an opportunity that no other personnelist can say. And to be the highest ranking individual as a staff sergeant while I was in Baghdad, all leadership looked to me. They looked to me for the accountability piece and the casualty piece and the reporting. So I guess that's where I started getting confidence, because, being in a room full of leaders of high ranks and me being only a staff sergeant, you kind of got to hold your own, and you kind of have to stand tall, regardless if everyone's towering over you.
I would say my biggest obstacle in my journey to becoming a chief was realizing that I wasn't going to win at everything, or that I wasn't going to succeed in everything. You know, you think that being a chief means being perfect, but now that I've made chief, I realize that that's what really makes a good chief, is making mistakes, learning from those mistakes, and then teaching others from those mistakes.
So when I have my head and heart set on something, I am pretty determined to make it happen. Biggest challenge, I think, again, would have to be cancer. Fighting cancer all of 2018 and still trying to do my best and studying and making sure my record was good, and trying to get out as much as I could to go still do things with my airmen.
Just knowing the right path to go. You kind of get your mindset on what you want to do, but then I've had really good mentors and no, don't go down that path. You need to focus on this. I really got involved with the Air Force Sergeant Association. I loved it, and that all stemmed from a senior master sergeant sitting me down and saying, this is what you need to do. And so some of the obstacles, of course, passovers on promotions and stuff like that, and that comes with everybody, but you get over them like hurdles.
In 2007, I was deployed to Iraq, made some bad decisions. I ended up losing a stripe. Dealing with that after I was an award winner and told I was a really good NCO, to have to come back from that was real difficult. But you know what they say? They say if you want to fly with the eagles, don't hang out with the buzzards. So surrounded myself with good people and kept moving in the right direction. And the timing was right.
Now it's my opportunity to listen to those young airmen like myself when I wanted to make changes. And some people, probably either shrugged me off or told me to just keep showing up to work. Well, now I have that ability to empower airmen like myself that see things that they can improve. And I can be that vessel to help them make those changes.
I think I will do my best at communicating, making sure that everyone at every level understands whatever the message is. Because if my messaging isn't understood, that is where I have failed. I think if I can change it up a bit, making sure that we're communicating 100%, being 100% transparent with everybody, then maybe that'll instill pride in the lower levels, making sure that they understand why they're here, what they're doing. That impacts the bigger picture.
Basically training, passing on the information that I know, I've learned over the years, helping somebody out. I get out from behind my desk and I want to see what's going on in their lives. Because I was an airman, I was on that forklift, I was pulling parts, and I was learning how to lead airmen, and they're doing the exact same thing. And we won't wear this uniform forever, so I want to help that person become that tech sergeant, that master, that chief master sergeant, and it's important to me.
I plan on continuing to do the same things I've always done, which is take care of people. People are our greatest asset, and if you take care of them, they'll take care of the mission.
Get out of just your job. You need to make that whole person concept. Look for something that you actually love. Don't just, be part of this committee or something like that because you think that's the button you need. But look for those things. Take your records, your decorations, your EPRs over to those chiefs, those seniors. Let them look at it and let them tell you, no kidding, you might think you're going down this path, but they have a better one for you. And determine your path based on that. But I want to lead people. And like I said, I love people. So that's always been my goal, is to help somebody.
Attitude is everything. You're going to learn your job, but having a positive attitude can make you that much more successful.
If I can get here, anyone can get here. You have to be determined, you have to be driven, you have to be dedicated, have self-discipline, have goals, have those short-term, long-term, professional, personal, spiritual, it doesn't matter. Have goals, write them down. Because every time you achieve a goal, you cross it off and then you have a new one. You make up a new one. So don't ever stop doing that, especially if you want to make this your career.
Just work hard, you know, learn everything you can about your job, and then help people out. And eventually all those things will just kind of fall into place. And next thing you know, you're going to be where I'm sitting at, and you're going to be a chief.